Greetings. Hey, hi, thanks for joining me. How's your day going? Or night, depending on when you're listening to this. It's lovely to have you with me. I thought, since I haven't been doing the monthly astrology readings for a long time, that I would do a personal reading for you. I'm glad you've decided to join this reading, and if you've found yourself here, then you are exactly where you are meant to be. So sit back and relax and see what messages come your way. This is a 1, 2, 3, you choose reading, and those are the piles of cards in front of you. They all basically have the same number of cards, which I think is 10, from a variety of different decks. I shuffled all the cards prior to the reading, have not looked at them, so I'm unaware what is in any of the numbered piles as well. So I will be interested myself to see how the reading takes shape. So think about it for a minute, which one appeals to you most. They do look the same, but clearly they're going to be different. So think about what it is you would like to focus on, and we will see if we can find some answers for you within this reading. I will be starting with pile number 1. I will put pile number 2 and 3 to the side, and I will come back to them after I have done number 1. So, pile number 1. Let's see what's in here and unpack this reading for you. This card at the bottom is one of the Crystal Mandela cards from Alana Fairchild. They are really, really intense. I'm going to leave it till the very end of the reading, and consequently I won't unpack it or open it yet. I will sit it there separately. So I will start from the bottom because that's the way I dealt them out. Law of attraction. Have you asked your angels for help with this? The Queen of Wands, the Knight of Cups, energy work, opportunity to forgive, self-sabotage, the throat chakra, and healer of the ages. I think that healer of the ages should go under here with the energy work. The throat chakra might well fit here with these court cards. Not that these cards are married up for any specific reason. They will each have their own specifics and messages, but some of them seem to be going with each other. I almost feel these two here go together as well. So let's have a look. Let me just put my camera. So if we start up here with this first one that we undid, the law of attraction. Relationships and activities that you once enjoyed are now changing as you become more sensitive and aware of energies. And the one underneath it is an opportunity to forgive. So this law of attraction card is a wonderful one to receive, and especially as it was your first one, it's allowing you to bring in some sort of manifestation from the universe. But it's suggesting that for you to achieve that or acquire it, you have to give something up. Oftentimes that's how life evolves. When we have our current life in whatever situation or form it is taking shape, it is generally full. There's not generally a vacuum. So we're going along doing our day-to-day life. We have our family perhaps that we are involved with, or our community. We have our job or our career, or if we're retired, we're in that stage of life as well. So whichever phase or stage you're in, it's generally fairly full. Now to move into another aspect or to gain something new, you need to drop something off, to create a vacuum, to allow something in. So it feels as though with this particular message, they're talking to you a little bit about relationships that may be on your mind. Now remember, relationships come in many different forms. They can be our personal relationships within a family, that whether or not that's a love partner or siblings or parents or extended families, or even people that are very close to you that are friends that you would call family members. Then we branch out a little bit more into the broader community, and we have network establishment of relationships that may include people in a job or a career path, or within a obligation set that you have, such as you might be a coach, or you might be a volunteer worker, or you might be seeking to expand your group of friendships. You may have moved to a new place recently and you are wanting to, as we say, expand. So to do this, there's something in the aspect of the law of attraction that you need to change. Perhaps it's a certain way you are thinking or behaving, or perhaps it's something that you need to drop off, or someone you need to drop off to allow for that something new to come in. These four here seem to fit quite nicely together. They're a similar shape and size, and they've been sort of all put together. So this opportunity down here to forgive, I'll read it out to you. It says, this situation brings the opportunity to heal, grow, and release negative patterns. Hold the intention of seeing the other person's inner divine light and goodness. We will help you ease unforgiving thoughts, feelings, and energies, and lift you to a higher place of peace and compassion. So I feel for you, as you chose number one, there's this feeling of maybe irritation around you, as if you are feeling unsatisfied. It may be that you have been let down in a certain aspect of your life, whether it's within a personal relationship or whether it's in some form of career directive, and you're sitting there going, no, this isn't particularly fair. I don't feel that I should have been treated that way, or I don't feel that people are listening to me. I don't feel they're listening to what I need or what I want. So when we find ourselves in that situation, we will stop attracting the positive because we're focusing on the negative. So there's a whole bunch of these messages in here that are suggesting to you, raise the frequency, change the dialogue. And this card here, which is sitting quite on its own, and it is the biggest one at the moment in the reading, and it's the throat chakra card, which is all about voice, it's all about communication, it's all about writing, reading, but it's also about listening too, and listening not just to the verbal voice such as I'm giving here, but listening to the hidden words, or the unheard words, or the unheard vibrations that come to you through your intuition, through the morphogenic energy field, through your dream space, through your creativity. That is also the throat chakra. It's also about being able to expand and understand when the time for expansion is coming. Now, if we look at another pattern that's happened in this reading, you've got these three cards here that exude this huge amount of blue. So this card with this really big message of the throat chakra needing to be addressed is also being amplified in a diamond triangle way, which is also what is in the middle of this card is a triangle, beaming out this pulsating white light to intensify the energy for you in the terms of communicating and through your throat chakra area. So these three are helping you to understand everything that's going on over here in terms of a relationship or a feeling that you might be thinking about yourself. Am I good enough? Why am I not being selected for something? And that selection for something could be a career. It might be a romantic proposal. You know, you might be saying, I want love in my life, and a partner isn't coming in. You might be saying, I want my current relationship to be healthier, to be more in line with my desires. Why is that not happening? So this over here is giving you the indication that perhaps you need to open up more, to receive more. You need to communicate more. And it could be communicating with yourself, or it could be communicating with the other people who you wish to be more in line with, or to feel more emotion or more connection with. And given that these are two court cards up here, the Queen of Wands, who could be a fire sign person in your life, and the Knight of Cups, who could be a water sign, that could also be their rising sign as well. But it could be yourself. You could be a fire person listening to this with a rising water sign, and this message could be for you about opening up your chakra energy around this throat chakra area for creativity or communication, or for enabling yourself to regain strength or to empower yourself one way or another. This one is also verging into the third eye chakra, which is where we gain our intuition. It's where we gain our celestial or cosmic insight. And when we are tapped into and allowing that vibrational energy field to come into our senses, then we are far more open and creative in exploring the throat chakra and what it has to offer in terms of our grounded physicality in life, but also in terms of our higher self, and listening to that higher self and learning to understand what it is we're seeking and where we want to go, and to listen to our intuitive capacities, which are often the places we find the answers to the questions that we seek. I also noticed this beautiful blue lapis lazuli sitting up above those two blue cards and coming down into this throat chakra. So almost as if it is also re-engaging or re-emphasizing the energy field here that is available to you within this reading. So even if you hadn't thought about this when you picked this number one, there must be a message here for you that you need to contemplate or meditate with. So sit with this whole energy field here and ask yourself, what is it that I am not hearing? What is it I am not saying? How could I expand on my creativity or my growth or my awareness or my communication to enhance the things that I really want to bring in more law of attraction with my relationships, or my new career that I'm seeking, or positive change in my life? How can I stop self-sabotaging myself? And one of the best ways is through communication with the self and the higher self, and learning to speak up and be heard as well. Coming back to this pile over here, and when we haven't even touched this one yet, have you asked your angels for help with this? Your angels want to help you with this situation. However, they require your permission before they can intervene in free will choices. Now, they use the word angels, but this could be celestial guides. It could also even be other cosmic helpers who come into the physical realm and can sometimes turn up in your life just when you need it. And they can be physical people or even animals that can be like spirit guides that come in to assist you at a time when you really feel you need it. Especially if you have felt alone or lonely or unsure of a decision or how to make a decision. And again, we come back to this powerhouse of cards within this diamond type triangular energy field, which is very, very powerful in and of itself. So I feel that there's this vortex of energy coming up to you through the reading, which should help to create this vibrational frequency in your throat. So some of you may have also had throat disorders, whether you've suffered from, the big C, and you've had problems with coughing or throat infections, even teeth infections. Some of you may be needing teeth fixed within your mouth, or even sinus problems, so that all of this throat chakra is aligned with all of that aspect of that part of our head. So throat, hearing, even ear problems. Some of you could do with ear checks, and some of you may even be at a stage where you need hearing aids. And it might not even be because you're old, but there could be blockages in there. You may even need to have things like grommets installed to clear dizziness within the ears, or something that's not flowing right. Some of you may suffer from tinnitus, or you may get that ringing in your ears. Now that ringing in your ears can sometimes be a spiritual ascension energy that's being caught or trapped within the body, and it's time for expansion. So that's one of the messages that can be. Other times it can be a sign that there is a whole blockage within that third eye, hearing and throat chakra area. So it's also time for expansion in many different ways. So coming back to if you've had throat infections, which could go down into the lungs, some of you may need support and help with the lungs and clearing the body and healing the body. Now, I have to apologise, this reading is really jumping about, and my readings often do, especially my personal readings. I have no set format or agenda. It is just however the messages come in, and sometimes they come fast and furious, and actually right now for your reading they are coming really fast and furious. So we're back at this junction where we're talking about some of you may need healing for your body. Well, we come to these two cards that were over here. Absolutely beautiful cards that are kind of doing some sort of ethereal uplifting work at this end of the reading. So they're supporting all of the rest of the messages that are flowing through here for you. But they are talking specifically about energy healing work on the physical body, this one in particular, and that it could be really beneficial for you to go to someone who can create a flowing up of blockages that you may be experiencing within your body. Now, these blockages may be chakra blockages, and one of the major ones could be around the throat, and it could be due to physical infections or something that you have physically been through. It could even be through severe arguments that you may have had with people around you, and in some cases for some of you this could be arguments with siblings or family members. I'm getting that feeling and message coming up here, and this is what the self-sabotage is leading me back to, a real feeling of pain that some of you have been through, angst, and you just feel like you haven't been treated right. And so when we take that pain with us, which can often transmute back into fear, we can either go forward with these kind of low vibrational frequencies and negative energies, and they can create blockages for us, and they can de-energize the physical, the emotional and the spiritual energy body. So that's why this energy work can be very valuable. This card over here, it can work at all of those three levels, including the esoteric level. So it could be really beneficial to go to someone who can do a physical healing, whether it's a Reiki healing, spiritual healing, whether it's chiropractic work, whether it's someone who is like a herbalist or a naturopath, or someone who can help you. It's like a tonic for your body. Those are the feelings that I'm getting with the energy work. Now, this can also be, for some of you who are out there pondering this, some of you may be wanting to go into this more spiritual way of life, and you're trying to think, how do I do it? You know, open up this key of creativity, become more aware of what you have in store and how to connect with it through the third eye and through reaching to the cosmic awareness and raising the frequency and the vibrational field of your being. And this can be done through someone giving you energy work, but it may be that you are wanting to become an energy healer as well. So if you are wanting to become an energy healer, there's a possibility that the healer of the ages, which can often be associated with the Christed white light, he may be working alongside you to create the energetic feel or flow within your body field so that you could become a healer for other people. There's also a possibility that you are a healer in different ways than you would believe, that maybe your compassion or your sensitivity is a healing ability, and that you are supporting and helping others around you at this point in time, and that you need some support to harness or to re-energize yourself. So lots and lots of different messages coming in here, and I guess I'm thinking that even though this is a personal reading for you, I know that as I give this reading out, you individually could be many, many people. And so that's why I think so many different messages are coming in. They're coming in so thick and fast that depending on who you actually are is depending on where this message is going to sit most profoundly with you. This Healer of the Ages is a magnificent card to come in. If you look closely, his heart chakra energy is being emanated, and it's being gifted with some sort of purification or white light energy. And again, this can work in terms of relationships, because the heart is our physical area where relationships are conceived, perceived, and grown. So again, this works around the essence if there is pain associated with relationships. And when I said before that for some of you it could be siblings, it could be that these two are siblings. They could also be children of some of you. If they are siblings, they may be that there is a need for communication within a family unit and something to clear up, whether it's even energy work. You may have someone in your family who is sick who needs healing. So there's that possibility as well, like physically sick and you're worried about them. You may not have been able to connect with them or communicate as well. There's also a possibility here that if you yourself have had heart problems, the Healer of the Ages comes in to support the heart at the physical, emotional and spiritual level as well. But it can also be a really good time to look after your heart health and to have health checkups as well. So that can be beneficial. Now I keep wanting to come back to here, to the opportunity to forgive and to the self-sabotage. I haven't read this one out yet, so I will read it. It is the brightest of all the cards, so it's asking for some particular attention to be given to it. When you learn to get out of your own way, there will be no stopping you. Most of the time, it's not others who prevent you from achieving your true goals. It's that inner voice that derails those carefully woven plans. And I think we have talked a lot about the inner voice perspective from this throat chakra card and having a little bit more faith and trust in yourself. Look, we all go through periods of self-sabotage when we are feeling frail or a little bit off balance, or something has taken the stuffing out of us, whether it be a personal attack or whether it be our own attack against ourselves, which is what the card is suggesting, that sometimes we self-sabotage. Now, coming back to the fact that all four of these are here together, and this opportunity to forgive, which we haven't really addressed, but it's also got a lot of blue in it. So I feel it connects itself over here to these, saying that if there have been tensions or arguments within a family unit or a work unit, even like a boss and an employee, or if you own a business and you've had staffing issues or vice versa, this could be a really good point in time to allow that process of forgiveness to take place. And in that, we allow healing to take place. And these two cards over here are helping that to happen. Now, coming back to this beautiful card at the beginning, the law of attraction. The law of attraction is what allows you to experience newness in your life. And this can be new relationships, new health modalities, so going on a whole new cycle of good positive health. It can be new career opportunities, it can be new financial opportunities. So within all of these, which I feel is quite a personal reading, not so much necessarily about career or money, it seems more about relationships. It seems to be quite into relationships at this point in time, the reading, but there is very much within this message here about the prospect of newness within many different avenues, depending on where you are seeking your law of attraction from. So quite a powerful reading, a really interesting one. I love the way the cards have grouped themselves together. This is a powerhouse junction here. This is the battery, if you like, that is fueling this as well, allowing it to open to this portal. And this is the base message of what these kind of are expanded into. So if we've done the work on most of those cards, which I think we have, the only two I feel that we may not have addressed here enough could be these. This Queen of Wands could be referencing a career, and she is passionate, she's creative, she's full of ideas, she's very strong because she is this fire sign creative energy. So this could be a time when, if you balance all of this powerful throat chakra energy correctly, you may be able to open up to a very powerful creative field in your life that leads you to something you're very passionate about, which could be establishing a new career line or something in terms of moving forward that really pushes you up in your growth or your learning, your spirituality or your physicality. Now, the Knight of Cups can come to us with a gift of love and the opening of the heart chakra, which is in essence connected down here to the healer of the ages. So these two could also be connecting to heal love issues or to bring new love in. So for some of you, new love or romance could be coming. In terms of relationships, it could be exciting, it might be quite passionate. It might be something that fires you up. It doesn't have to be love romance either. It can be something that you are passionate about. And it might be new friendships. But I feel as though for some of you, it bodes about relationships, which is kind of where we started off over here. So remember, relationships can be within a new career or a new hobby or a new direction or a new cycle within your life. Okay, I think they've stopped talking. Let's see what this card is. Now, more often than not, I find that I have to read the message from the book because it is so powerful. And I also suggest to you that you sit with the message and meditate with it and see how it evolves over a period of time. Wow, the green, it's just so alluring. Goddess Rhiannon and Ammonite, integrity, number 47. So what I will do, I will put that down there and I will zoom the camera in so that you can get the energy of the card, and I will now read to you from the book the meanings and the essence of the card. Goddess Rhiannon and Ammonite, integrity. We bring you the empowerment of integrity. Integrity is the harmony between intention, word, and action. It is a discipline of love that creates inner security, confidence, and self-esteem. Integrity allows you to choose what promises you make according to the reasons that have meaning for you. It empowers you to make decisions that feel authentic and honour your values. It allows you to say no without guilt or shame because you are not willing to compromise who you are and to make another comfortable. As you honour your words and actions, doing what you say you will do, when you say you will do it, you grow power and respect within. You can express your integrity absolutely, and yet with kindness and compassion. Integrity is the gift that will bring you a powerful peace of mind and loving self-respect. Now I'll continue the message. This is quite intense, as I say, and it requires a fair degree of contemplation, going within, looking at the card, the mandala, the energy that's coming from it, and the words from the book. The more choice and freedom you have, the more integrity you will need. The more you feel aware of and compassionate towards the needs of others, the more integrity you will need. Integrity is your anchor to self. It is authenticity in expression. You experience your integrity as a feeling of rightness when you are in alignment with yourself, and a feeling of something being not quite right, uncomfortable, or even anxiety or anger inducing when you are being urged to break with your integrity to make another comfortable. You know what you need to do or not do. And when you step away from that, not honouring yourself, you will experience psychological, emotional, or even physical discomfort. You will not feel good about the choices you are making. That is your sign that you have integrity and that it is calling you back to your truths. Integrity is a sign of character developed over time. It exists when a person cares enough about their words and actions, their intentions, and the impact of their life on others that they are willing to make the sometimes tough calls and not always the path that seems the easiest. Integrity doesn't make life harder, however. It actually makes it more enjoyable. Every time you exercise your integrity in your choices, you'll feel good about yourself. Eventually, even if your mind goes into fear at saying no, for example, worrying that you're going to upset someone or miss out on an amazing opportunity, even if you don't feel it's right at the time, the good feeling you get from being in integrity will grow stronger. Nothing will be worth it. The contemporary expression for this is that you won't be willing to sell out or sell your soul to get to something or someone. What happens as you build your integrity muscles is that your ability to attract what you actually need grows. That's the law of attraction. Your light and presence become more magnetic. Instead of needing to chase after what you feel you need or want, you stand still and draw the right people and opportunities to you. You have less fear and more trust. You like who you are and know that you are valuable, and any person or dream that asks you to abandon yourself is not worth the cost. This oracle brings you a message. If you have already made a decision based on integrity and are having second doubts, don't. You have done the right thing and you will more than benefit from this than you realize, even if it seems to your mind that you have suffered a loss. If you are in a situation where you feel your integrity is being challenged, or find yourself in such a place in the near future, trust yourself. Be authentic. You have worked too hard and come too far to throw yourself away for anything or anyone. Hold on to you. Stand firm in what is true for you. Wow, that card goes really strongly hand in hand with so many of the other cards in the reading and so many of the messages that we came through. You know, the throat chakra is all about standing up for your truth. Be heard. Speak your truth. And, you know, you don't have to give away your personal rights or beliefs just because another person is pressuring you. And this may be you've felt some pressure from some people around you. But there could be healing coming in and energy work which could clear those issues. And over here, you know, don't self-sabotage your dreams, goals and desires just because you feel the pressure of someone else. And if you need help with this, ask for support from your cosmic workers, and they will help to give you the ability to speak up or to feel stronger in yourself, to gain that inner strength again. And remember that some people are not right for you in your life, or even some actions or attractions that you have been physically involved with, they are clearing and moving away. And sometimes as we move away, we do need to forgive ourselves in particular, but to forgive others as well. So not to move forward with anger or animosity, to move forward with positivity and light and trust and knowledge in ourselves that we have the power and we are moving in our field of integrity. So what a beautiful reading for you, a very empowering reading, one full of strength, one full of knowledge and understanding, and one full of expansion, I feel. So thank you for joining with me for this personal reading of yours, and I trust that you have really been uplifted by it, by the messages that have come through, by the energy that is very present within this reading. So yeah, I'm just very pleased to be with you and to share with you personally this deep connection and empowerment. Thanks again for joining me. Namaste. Hi, so here we are at number 2, and that is for you. You chose number 2. So let's remove that. I don't know what's in these cards at all. I haven't pre-looked at them. This card here in particular is very, very deep and meaningful, and it takes quite a lot of connection to it and time to be spent on it. So I will put it to the side, and over here, and can't quite see it, we will get to that at the end of the reading. I will start from the bottom of the 10 cards that we have. Heal Away Addictions is your first card. Shield Yourself is your second card. 10 of Wands is your third. 6 of Cups is your fourth. Life Purpose is your fifth. Giving and Receiving is your sixth. Love is your seventh. Ancestral Wisdom is your eighth. Communication is your ninth. And your 10th is Archangel Metatron, the 6th chakra, the third eye chakra, and the number 40. So hopefully you can see all of these. Let's just for me personally, when I'm looking at them, I'm getting a real gentle, uplifting energy field from these 3 over here. It's very supportive, it's very nurturing, it's very light. We're floating up into an etheric energy field here. We can see this guy with the communication traveling up into time portals or leaving the ground and sort of moving into that dream type space. I get that feeling that there's a lot of ungroundedness, if you like, over here. So floaty, dream-like experiences or cosmic feelings or connections through astral travel or dreams that might be very intense, very personal, quite exciting. There's something here that's I'll have to work through that as I get to it, but it's really, really calling out to me. And I will apologize now, right from the get-go. These readings, or this reading for you in particular, because you chose this, there is no set format on how I'm going to receive the messages and how it goes through. I often find myself jumping from card to card and topic to topic. So sometimes you have to come back and listen again, because there might be parts that you miss or that reconnect themselves specifically from your perception as the reading goes on. And it might be a message I say here, and then that message might meet up with something I say a bit further along. So just be aware of that from your own perspective and feel into how it's all going and what messages you really connect with the most. So this is really grabbing me. There's just something that wants to be said. And when I say that, this of course is the throat chakra connection. And it says self-expression, exchange, and sharing connection. Some of you are literally sharing something or exchanging with someone, and it could be through a very ethereal, spiritual connection. So the people or the energies that you are experiencing and sharing with may be here in this life. They may be more spiritual bodies. So it could be that they are angelic beings or your spiritual helpers. Some of you may be finding new spiritual helpers. It could be a love connection, like a twin flame energy that's being enacted or activated within you. So some of you might be finding a real spiritual growth at this time, where you are raising the frequency, raising it up, and feeling this energetic vibration throughout your physical and spiritual body. For some of you, this might be a very physical energizing as well, and it could be to do with communication. You might be hearing from people that you are finding scintillating or really passionate about. For some of you, this is like a love connection, like a really high-ended spiritual connection. And it might be a love relationship, but it might also be tied up to these cards up here, this life purpose card. The words on this card say, the purpose of your life is to serve in a way that brings great joy to yourself and others. Don't worry about finding your purpose. Instead, focus upon serving a purpose, and then your purpose will serve you. So some of you are finding like a connection or finding an answer at the moment. You're being called to something. You're being called to maybe communicate it, or maybe open up these parts of the body, whether it's the third eye chakra and the throat chakra, and then even the higher dimensions through angelic energies, or through morphogenic energy fields, or through vibrational frequency or healing. And for some of you, that might be your life purpose. You might have experienced a point in which you are suddenly going through a change in life, like a really big life change direction. And it could be through some transmutation, or through some awakening, or through some awareness or clairvoyance that this is coming to you. This is very powerful down here. So when we get to the Six of Cups, this is about love as well, and it's about love from the past. And so some of you may find love is coming back from the past, and this may be people who have passed over and you're reconnecting with them. It might be someone who was very dear to you, like a parent or a grandparent or your partner or a child, and you're feeling a deep, deep bond of connection with someone in the spirit world. There's that possibility. This can be about love, as I say, from the past. It can be about old lovers returning. It can be about going back in time to where you grew up and had fond memories of it. So there's something in here that holds a timeline, and we can see that because of this card, Ancestral Wisdom. So if I read this, it says, we are your ancestors and we love you. We walked the earth many years before you. We ask you at this poignant time to learn and grow from our past experiences. You are our legacy, and we will keep on helping you as we continue to evolve here in the spirit world. And as I said that, I've got these like goosebumps all over me. So there is definitely an activation in here for a lot of you from passed over loved ones. You're either hearing it, you're experiencing astral travel with them. They're opening up doorways, they're bringing you back into the arms of love. So this card here, very connected, they're from the same deck, these two. This one says, love is the foundation of your existence, and you're just as worthy of receiving as you are of giving love and compassion. While love can be a beautiful emotion, it is equally a form of energy that propels you through life. So I'm still getting this message of going through time. And this one up here, when you are going back in time to a childhood memory or something that you held with the greatest of revere and fondness, and hold it tight to your heart, like here where her heart is, this singing of memories and this opening up of support. And these people here, your ancestral wisdom gatekeepers, they're connecting with you, they're holding you up, they're giving you nurture, they're giving you knowledge, they're giving you support. So if you've been through anything traumatic, which is a little bit what these ones are saying up here, these two especially, you have help from many different realms, you know, from celestial high-end, high vibrational frequency, to the answers coming into you from perhaps your higher self and spirit guides to lead you into your future path, that gives you a sense of purpose and direction for something that you may have been seeking for a very, very long time, and you are being lifted up at many different levels from previous ancestral lineage. And for some of you, when we talk about this Six of Cups going back in childhood, and these two are very much part of your DNA, so it's definitely talking about family and past family, maybe even many generations back, and it could even be past lives, right? So not even in this timeline, because I think time is a really big part of this reading, and we see that too with this guy and these planets and different travel in the astral realm, and that's taking up this whole universal context of time and travel. So for some of you, you could be connecting with past life issues, and some of these past life issues may have brought you to some of these problems. And also these problems, such as addictions, can be very much related to family trauma. So this gets very convoluted, but the families we are born into all have certain DNA patterns within them. And a lot of the patterns that are within every family, so you're not being disadvantaged in any way. Everyone has these same patterns, if you like, or properties of patterns within them. They're often the negative stuff that is carried on through the family lines. So things like addictive personalities, things like cancer, a heart attack, stroke, mental health issues, abuse, family abuse, and it goes through the DNA, and we can sometimes pick it up ourselves to heal it and to get rid of it so that future generations no longer suffer from it, as well as ourselves no longer suffers from it. So some of you might be in a phase where you are healing family generational issues, whether they are addictive issues, whether they are financial issues. So even people who suffer financial woe, it can be a family line issue, right? There can be so many different ways of looking at this, and this may be you at this point in time helping your family to rid itself of bad, you could say karma, but you could just say bad patterns. And that these people here are supporting you and helping you because they know the work you're doing, and you're helping to heal lines of family involvement. This card, the Six of Cups, often I think about family health issues when it comes out, and I sometimes think of things like breast cancers or cancer scenarios that are carried through the DNA. Some of you might be dealing with breast cancer in your family one way or another. It may be someone you know, it may be yourself, you may have recently been diagnosed or be healing from it. So everything that you're going through at the moment seems related to past lives or family life or DNA. There's a lot of that in this relationship, and for some of you it's been very traumatic, very painful, and it has led to perhaps a place of addictions. Now, addictions come in many different forms, and to be honest, I don't think there are many of us on this planet that don't have an addiction of some sort or another. This one says it's time to let go of behaviours that are blocking you from your heart's desire. Ask Archangel Raphael to help you with this healing. Now, when they say let go of behaviours that are blocking you, see, anger is an addiction. Abuse is an addiction. Shopping can be an addiction. Too much exercise, obviously too much food, alcohol, drugs, sex, all sorts of things can be addictive patterns. So they don't have to be major things that are stopping us from living, but most of us all suffer from some form of addictive patterning within our life, and sometimes it comes to the surface more than others. So this particular card is an opportunity to allow that addictive behavior to be released from you. And underneath it says giving and receiving. The entire universe operates in cycles similar to your inhalations and exhalations. When you only exhale or inhale, that is give or receive, you become out of rhythm with the universe. For optimal health, energy and replenishment, balance each inhalation in your life with an exhalation. So this is the need to bring everything into balance, and that's what this card up here is saying. You know, let go of desires or behaviors that are out of balance. So these two cards are reaffirming the need to bring some sort of balance in, and to be able to give, you will then receive, and if you are receiving, you will be able to give. This is a wonderful card of prosperity in real terms, so it's a nice one to have in here, especially taking up one of the first positions of the reading for you. You can think of this as in terms of financial benevolence, love benevolence, which is right next door to it. So if some of you have been wanting more love in your life in terms of relationships or balance within relationships, so bringing harmony in, there's this opportunity for this to happen if you deploy balance. This card, shield yourself, protect yourself from harsh or fear-based energies by envisaging a cocoon of healing light surrounding you. Well, your healing light arrived right over here towards the end of your reading to embellish this whole energy field of anything that you feel that may have been causing negativity in your life, or holding you down, or trapping you either physically, mentally, emotionally or spiritually, because some of you, I feel that's what's happened at this point in time. And let's face it, there is this potentiality in the energy field around Gaia at the moment, and within the human collective energy field, of a lot of fear, of a lot of panic, of a lot of hate and anger. Here in New Zealand, we're experiencing it really badly, to be honest, but it's being perturbated through the whole energy field. We're picking it up globally. This dissension, this anger, this frustration, this lack, this feeling of loss. So these two over here are so strong in empowering this positivity and this freedom and this high vibration and this love that we talked about here, and light. You know, when we have love and light at that highest vibrational frequency, we are releasing ourselves from negative, addictive, darker behavior. And then you don't need to shield yourself, because we're working in the higher fields. We're receiving that perpetual high vibrational energy form. The only one we really haven't looked at this point is the Ten of Wands. So the Ten of Wands is signifying like a power and a passion and the ending of a cycle and moving into a new cycle. The tens always represent new beginnings. But again, this 10 feels as though there is a heaviness, as if you have carried a burden for either someone or a group of people, and that you've done a lot of the hard work to get you to the point, or to get this group of people to the point where they move forward. Now this could be representative around a career field even, because wands often represent our creative aspect in life and sometimes our career sector. So some of this may be also around a career. It doesn't have to just be family. I picked up on family at the beginning because it was jumping out at me, but you know, for you in particular, you might be thinking more about issues that are going on within your work or your career or a community of people, not necessarily your direct family members. And that also suits the life purpose card over here, which is talking about a life purpose that could involve a working career. But when that card comes in, there is no doubt that you are being awakened to your true life purpose, and often in the realm of a career or your spiritual life purpose, which may well be to heal generational rifts, generational family abuse, or cycles of neglect or loss or sadness or grief. So it's very powerful, and it tells a compelling story from beginning to end. And the more I talk, the more it's closing up. So the doors were very open when I started the reading, but they're starting to close in as if A, I have said enough, or B, it's putting a border up and saying, yes, you've hit the structures of which this reading is entailing. But just coming briefly back to the Ten of Wands, it can be about signalling the end of a cycle, and it can especially be about a change in career options coming, moving to a new career, or a change in patterns or systems or belief systems, something new that you are heading in the direction of, and it can be creative and it can be passionate and fiery. You've done a lot of hard work over the time, and this could be a long time, so it could represent an entire decade or even longer. And the work that you do, or the work that you also are about to open up to in terms of all of this structure over here, could be the freedom that you've been wanting from something that has held you back or held you down. So really compelling reading that's strong, it's earthy, it's punchy, but it's supportive. You know, there's a lot of support in here, and support from generational, ancestral wisdom, as the card said. Wow. This is the last card for you. This is number 27, Ascended Master Saint Germain and Amethyst, and it's called Spiritual Connection. So what I will do is I will put that down on the table so we can zoom in on it, and I now will read the message from the book. We bring you the blessing of spiritual connection. There are times on your life path when you will feel alone. If you are working on an issue or going through a challenging time and don't feel particularly supported, or that others understand, even though they may love you, then that sense of loneliness may increase for a time. Or perhaps you wonder if you are as spiritually connected as you could be. Perhaps you have been asking for confirmation of your divine connection, or for some sort of sign that what you think might be divine guidance is genuine. This oracle comes with a message. You are capable of conscious spiritual connection, and that connection is growing in power every time you talk to the universe through prayer or any act of devotion. You are also being asked to release any barriers around your heart and mind so you can allow the unconditionally loving voice of Spirit to be heard in your heart and soothe your mind. Oh wow, and I look at the two cards right next to this one here, and we have this one which is love in the heart, and the mind, this person's mind, which is flowing up into the higher reaches of the cosmic field. There's a lot of synchronicity and power within this reading. Everything that we were sort of talking about is being amplified again through this Ascended Master Saint Germain and the amethyst. And in fact, I have so many beautiful amethysts in and on my table. I will put a piece of amethyst on there, almost amplifying that rod of amethyst. I'll put a real piece on as well. So I'll carry on with the reading. Walking a spiritual path is very important for your soul. It is what you are meant to do this lifetime, and you have in fact done this many lifetimes previously. You have developed a strong spiritual connection during the passing of those lifetimes, with an ability to feel, know and connect with Spirit consciously, even whilst living in this physical world where the clear voice of Spirit can sometimes be distorted through fear, doubt or anger. You will have different ways you can best tune into your strong spiritual connection, and what works best for you may be different for another. You may tap into your spiritual connection through meditation, dance, being in nature, relaxing or switching off your mind with exercise, through prayer or creating art, music or some other offering of devotion to love and life. What is being affirmed through this oracle is that your spiritual connection is established. It is considerable and you have the ability to tune into it in this lifetime. You are asked to rely upon your spiritual connection unconditionally, to ask for help with all things in your life. There is nothing too small, for in allowing your spiritual connection to assist you in resolving the small, apparently insignificant, everyday matters more swiftly, you free up vital energies to deal with the bigger tasks of your divine life journey. From parking spaces to overall timing for your day, for assistance in all ways whilst travelling, for help in making good choices whilst shopping, to inspiration for better relationships, and in matters of finance, health, and professional development, divine guidance will be with you in all ways, and it is here to help you reside in the frequency of love and truth. Sometimes there can be fear about opening up further to Spirit. You may want it and fear it at the same time. If you have heard a message or someone has told you something they believe has come from the spiritual worlds and it makes you feel bad, if what you see, feel, hear or told is based in fear in any way, it is not from the higher spiritual worlds. Genuine divine guidance is loving, and anything that makes you feel disconnected from love or that causes you to feel bad about yourself is not higher guidance. The fear of opening up further to Spirit can be so deep that you don't realize it is there. You attend development classes and work hard to perceive spiritual connection, and yet frustratingly it may not come through as clearly as you would like. Perhaps you feel like you are the only person who doesn't get something, whilst others seem to have a connection you envy. You may feel like Spirit has forgotten you, or you are not important enough to deserve attention, or that there is something wrong with you that you cannot receive as you wish. All of those reactions and frustrations are understandable, but they are not reflective of a higher truth. Your spiritual task is to be kind to yourself. Be with your feelings and complete the following healing process as often as you need to. Know that as fear arises, and it can arise even in those working consciously with Spirit for a long time, testing them to trust and open up even more so, you are releasing a barrier between you and Spirit. You never need to be ashamed of your fear. It has been conditioned into bodies over lifetimes. It can take a little while to cleanse it out of the soul. Fear can be a stubborn strain or a stubborn stain, but the divine has all sorts of tricks to dislodge it. Spirit wants to connect with you just as much as you want to connect with it, more even. You are so loved. Set aside any frustration with yourself or the divine as you realize that even if you don't see or hear as some others do, Spirit still talks to you every day. Can you see the signs, the numbers, the white feathers, the song on the radio, the books you are drawn to read, or the oracle card that keeps popping up? Spirit loves you so much it has created all of these ways for you to hear its loving voice in your heart. Will other ways open up for you in due course? Yes, of course they will. But even now your spiritual connection is already real. To grow it more, set aside time every day, at least 2 minutes, and speak to it. Imagine it as your daily phone call to your Divine Mother. During that daily divine talk, talk to the universe. You don't need special words, just tell the universe what you would like help with and what you are grateful for in your life. And you will grow and find your life purpose. So a very gentle way to finish the end of the reading. Really, it's just embellishing that whole aspect of you if you are questioning yourself, if you have had problems or trauma in the past, or you have had issues that have been holding you up, or held up a family, or held up DNA, or you feel as though it's been with you for many lifetimes and you've been questioning how to move on from it. That was a very supportive, nurturing message about your spiritual connection and your continued growth with that. So I thank you again for joining me, and I trust that you have found this to be a very uplifting and personal reading, especially for you, directed to you from your spiritual helpers and from the cosmic energy force. Thank you again. Namaste. So you picked number 3, and here we are with reading number 3. I don't know what the cards are. I haven't looked at them previous or prior to this. So I will lift this number off and we will start unpacking the reading for you. This card on the bottom is very in depth, very powerful. It takes a little bit of time to assimilate and work through. I often suggest that you meditate with it. So I am going to put it to the side over here and we will address that at the end of the reading. So I take the first card from the bottom and we'll work from the bottom. And your first card is Earth Angel. Your second card is Manifestation Power. Your third card is the Sun. Wow. Your fourth card is Nine of Wands. Your fifth card is Cupid. Okay, your sixth card is Cleanse and Detoxify. Your seventh card is New Beginnings. Your eighth card is Crown Chakra. And your ninth card is Storm Warning. So I think the others had 10 cards. You have one less. I'm not sure why. So let me put the camera so that we can see all of the cards. Sorry about the little legs that stick out. That's from the tripod that the camera is sitting on. So you have what I would call really beautiful cards, a lot of potential newness coming in here, and you've been gifted with the energy of the sun sort of holding some sort of power in the middle, next to also the manifestation power card with also a sun at the back of that archangel, I think. So you've got these two golden globes that are emanating huge power out to the rest of the reading. The two cards that have something, if you like, that are you need to address in terms of emotional issues would be this one, Storm Warning and Cleanse and Detoxify. But let's just work through however the messages come, and I have no set format for the reading. I just have to go with the flow and what I'm being told as we work through the cards. So we'll start with the first one that came out, the Earth Angel, and it says you are a light worker who has come to Earth to teach about love. That's a beautiful card to receive, and I know at this point in time on the Earth timeline we do have more light workers here, and a lot of them are to help raise the vibrational frequency of the planet, and especially from the environmental perspective, if you like, but also raising the vibration of love on the planet, so that love is one of the highest frequencies we can emanate at, as well as joy and happiness. So being a light worker, and it says here to teach about love, is that raising of the frequency for everyone. So when we are a teacher, think of it not dissimilar to when you go to school and you go there to learn, and the teacher teaches you how to learn. So you in this lifetime have the ability to teach others. So often that is a selfless role, and it is thinking more about others. So you may feel more in line with your goals and your purposes when you are supporting, nurturing, caring for and helping others. So your gift in life may be the empath, maybe the supporter, the carer, the caregiver, the caretaker. You may be wonderful a nurturer for your family and friends. You may have people that come to you unexpectedly and need a shoulder to cry on, and you are that person who can help support them through and give them empowerment and power. So you are their battery of energy, and you can be this knowledge giver as well, giving them understanding about how to move forward in positivity and love, and how to raise vibrations and frequencies. So some of you may even be clairvoyants, or you may be spiritual workers, or you may be healers one way or another, and you may do it as a business and receive financial abundance from that, or some of you may do it as a voluntary or like as a gift to either friends or clients as well. So there's a whole act of giving within this card that has come here. The giving seems to then move out to receiving, because there's a lot of receiving in this particular reading for you. So if we come to the manifestation of power, it says use your spiritual gifts and natural abilities to attract your desired outcome. So your gift and ability here seems to be encoded in the act of love and support and nurture, and by following that pathway you will receive more manifestation and more power. So you will be empowering yourself, and when we do that and we receive those higher vibrational energies, we are raising ourselves to the best possible place. That, to be honest, is what we came here to achieve. Every time we come back into this timeline, we're coming here to try and evolve so that we can escape the need to come back again. And we do that through the higher vibrational frequency, basically, of love. If we come over here, we're clearly talking about love here again. And this one says we send great waves of love into your heart and mind, awakening your love for life itself. Your clear decision to accept and enjoy romance has triggered this reawakening. Allow yourself to spontaneously celebrate love in all of its glorious aspects. So not only are we talking about the art of teaching and supporting and nurturing love, but we're also talking about over here some romantic version of love. So for some of you, that this may be an invitation to open up your heart chakra to allow more love in, and it could be romantic love. So if you are seeking a new relationship, this might be a good time to be aware that there's a possibility of a new relationship in the air. If you are wanting to heal a current relationship that seems tense or caught up or caught in negative energy field like this down here, it's asking you clearly to deploy love into it. And maybe for some of you, you might have an intimate relationship that is feeling a bit stale. It's saying bring back romance, or bring back the heart chakra energy into that relationship. And it doesn't just have to be romantic love we're talking about. This could be families, it could be close friends, it could be work colleagues and associates as well. But it's talking to you, basically this first card and this one right over here are really, really empowering the energy of love in your life and asking you to totally ingrain that and utilize it as a way of solving and resolving issues that might pop up. And as you do that, you are being given a manifestation of power. And so this power could be used to make your wishes come true. You know, what is it you are wishing for? There's a big opportunity within this reading to grant you some sort of wish. This card here, the Sun, is known as the new beginnings, and it's connected here on the diagonal with this new beginnings down here. So you've got this whole strength, this powerhouse of energy, and this one has this bolt of something in the background, like this white light emanating from it, as does this one has this bolt of power. Some of you might receive like an energetic lift or vibration, or it could be that some of you have an epiphany or an aha moment. Some of you may even have a Therapy, you might go for some balancing or clearing work, and it could be so profound that it's literally as if it frees you up. If some of you have had something in your body that's been stuck or trapped, like a trapped ligament or spine or disc, or you've had bad health, or you've been out of sorts, it feels as though you're going to get this explosive freeing up of energy, and you will feel impassioned and alive again. So if you've had bad health, I feel like there's a turn coming for the better. And when it's this card down here, cleanse and detoxify, it says, with great love and respect, we ask you to detoxify your precious and sensitive body. As you request, we help you to develop life-affirming ways to deal with stress, as well as ease any sorrow at shedding your old ways. Give your cares, worries and concerns to us, and feel the beautiful grace of your newly purified body. So that's also new beginnings. Some of you may be about to go through a whole new decade of positivity, of change in a better direction. If you've, as I said, if you have had physical illness or been physically trapped, and it could have been through an addiction, or it could have been in a relationship that has held you back, it could have been a physical health illness, something is going to come that helps you to free it up, to become more healthy, to become, your body becomes working again somehow. So if some of you have been bound by physical restraints, I think that gets released, or it gets lessened. If it's emotional constraints, there's a deep amount of movement going on in the background with that. It could be coming to you through your own understanding and expansion and input, and it could be coming to you through cosmic understanding and awareness. Now this crown chakra card is a little bit like that. It comes in from the very top of our ability to perceive cosmic awareness, literally from the sun, if you like, from this cosmic life force up here. New beginnings, conception, fertility, love relationships. There's quite a lot of romance potentially in this card, or the reignition or the re-establishment of current relationships and bringing them back into balance, and activation and excitement and passion, you know, pregnancies, new jobs, new ideas, just new. And the crown chakra comes to us with this perception of being able to think about the new, open up to exploring ideas you didn't know that you could tap into, feeling things very differently, having a wider perspective, receiving cosmic messages, downloads from your spirit guides or from angelic celestial beings, or raising your ascension, raising your vibration. There's just so much magic that can come in through the crown chakra when we open up to that power and that cosmic energy source. Coming back here to this one, everything in life is constantly vibrating and moving, and therefore continuously changing and evolving. Be aware that a new beginning is on the horizon. Have courage and faith, because right now life is trying to nudge you forward and move you in a new direction. Wow, you know, what is it that's coming for you? Because it feels big and bold and powerful with all of these new beginnings and energies, and getting rid of old stuff that didn't serve you. Some of you may be moving away from something completely, and it might be the end of a cycle in terms of relationships. You might find that friends you had, you no longer are seeing eye to eye, and that you may move away from some friendships, or you may move away from a career that you've been working in for decades and decades. You may unexpectedly find exciting new people walking into your life, and you'll be thinking, wow, I didn't expect that, or I didn't even want it. Some of these things that come to us in new beginnings, sometimes we're not ready for them, or when we weren't prepared. So we can find them a little bit confronting, or we can be a bit scared about them. But these feel very, very positive, and they feel as if you are letting go of something that could have been negative or holding you back. And that's what these two cards are sort of signifying. That's the message that I'm getting from them. But you may even find that you are in an area that goes through a physical storm. So take care, have your preparations for safety in place. Some people call them bug out boxes or a getaway stuff, 3 days of water, food and power, candles, things like that. We're seeing more and more frequency of violent storms on the earth as times change and we move through various timelines. So that's a bit of a possibility with that. This Nine of Wands is a card that says, you know, you might have been working on something for a long time and you've been steadily applying diligence or determination or effort, and you may feel as though, oh, look, is this really, really working? Am I doing the right thing? Am I going in the right direction? But you have so many messages here, especially this one, if you've questioned your ability to be that supportive person, the carer, the lover, the one who holds others up, that they're telling you specifically that you are that person, and that all the work and dedication and time and effort you put into your goals, it will be achieved. And to just keep going a little bit longer, especially if you feel you're at the end of a tether, if you can't go much longer, if you're running out of energy or running out of ideas. This is saying don't give up, especially if you think you're running out of ideas or you think you've run out of love or romance even. Don't stop, because there is something big on the horizon for you. I'm not joking. There's a lot in here that I can't tap into quite now. It's still coming in. It's not fully fixed. I think there are a few ways it could go in terms of relationship, or is it coming in terms of career or money or health modalities. There's so many different options, and I think it depends on which one you really want most. You could get more than one of your dreams and desires at this point in time, but some of it is going to rely on your ability to open up, to hear the messages in particular. So listen to what you hear, tap into your innate ability to perceive things that we can't see or feel normally. So our intuitive perspective, become more connected with that side of you. Start writing a journal, take notice of your dreams, connect with your higher self, your spirit guides, your celestial helpers. There's a creative force within you that you need to explore, and that can also be from this Nine of Wands as well, and that could be around a career, a workforce, an idea, a passion. It could be any of those type of things that could be coming in here as well. But other than that, the cards are being a little bit tight. They're not as fluid as the number 1 and 2. So they're not giving me quite as much information. So something in here, they're not wanting to relay it yet. And that's what I was saying before. My feeling is it's not fully formed. It's still coming in. So it hasn't taken shape fully. So something else has to be added to the mix. It's like when you're baking a cake or any sort of cooking or baking. If you've got flour and sugar, you need a wet product to add to that to make the cake, you know, to turn it into a wet mix to bake it. So this reading is a bit similar. I've got the sugar and the flour, but at the moment I haven't got the moisture to add to it. It's not giving that to me, so it's withholding it. So something is being withheld. We may find an answer in this card, but when it's being withheld, it's probably because it's not yet fully formulated. So I feel you have several pathways with which this can go. Nothing is set in concrete. If you are really wanting to manifest something in terms of romance, which there is a lot of speculative romance in here, right? Then go for it. And open up to it and use your intuitive field and be explorative. If it's something that you want to do in terms of finances, then dig deeper, work harder, expand your knowledge base, look into more. That's the answer. There's something here you haven't looked into yet. So it's got to come from you, and you have to open up more doors. You have to look further. But the further you look, the more you are going to understand that you can do this, whatever it is you are seeking, and that right now timing perspective seems to be aligning so that you are being given the opportunity to get your dreams be given to you. That's the message in this reading. Oh, look at that pink. You know, pink is love. Archangel Aniel and pink calcite, acceptance. That is beautiful. And I do have some pink calcite here. I'm not sure where it's hiding at the moment, but I'll put this on, which is a beautiful pink heart. I think that is actually rose quartz. Now what I will do is bring that in so you can see it, and then I will read from the book, because the words from the book are very powerful and important. So let me see. Oh, it's number 3. Archangel Aniel and pink calcite, acceptance. We bring you the gift of acceptance. Rather than encouraging a situation to remain the same, the gift of acceptance empowers you to move through an experience, uncovering the opportunity for personal growth and spiritual development that may be at first hidden behind a challenging set of circumstances. Resistance prevents you from being able to see the truth and grow through the opportunities that life brings to you. Acceptance is necessary for you to be present rather than in resistance. When you are present, you can see what is happening more realistically, and you become able to respond to it with awareness. Then you shall grow and obtain more power and wisdom through that process, whilst you also become capable of receiving the divine assistance that will come to you through any difficulty. Even if a situation seems challenging, your acceptance is the key to transforming it. It brings relief to your heart. It empowers you to take the step forward on your spiritual path that life is presenting to you. Through that step, new opportunities will arise. When you trust that no matter what appears to be, it is safe to trust that life is supporting you and to manifest your divine potential, acceptance becomes easier and feels more natural and more joyful. It can seem like self-preservation to resist a situation that appears to be unpleasant or undesirable. It might be a relationship that cannot grow with you and must therefore end, lest you both end up hating each other and destroying any good feeling between you. Or it could be an opportunity that seems to be denied to you, yet you are sure it would be a perfect step for you on your divine life journey. No matter whether the situations in your life seem to be supporting you, or whether the timing of life seems to coincide with the timing you think would be best for the unfoldment of your dreams, it is safe to accept what is happening. The universe only ever closes a door to you if it would not lead you to where you most need to go. Sometimes acceptance can seem foolish, as though surely you must fight for what it is you want. It is true that you will need courage and determination to walk your path and overcome obstacles in life. To grow requires strength of body, mind, and spirit. Yet there is a difference between fighting against life and growing through the challenges it presents. Without trust, you may end up putting energy into fighting against the very situation trying to help you. It is wiser to accept what is happening and then ask, how can I best respond to this? Acceptance doesn't mean you give up the fight. It means you learn to fight from the heart, to grow with trust in life's guiding hand rather than pushing against it or biting the proverbial divine hand that feeds your soul. When a situation seems to be working against you, you can be sure there is information you cannot see as yet. There is a bigger picture, and in some way, what is happening is serving you lovingly to fulfill your divine destiny without exception. With trust, you can continue to take the journey, even if the full understanding of why something is the way it is eludes you at the moment. The understanding of how something is helping you, even if at first it seems to be a hindrance, may come to you or not. You may come to fully understand the mysterious workings of divine love in your life over time, or it may never really make sense to you. Your choice is either to accept that life loves you, even when you don't understand what is happening, or to live in distrust and fear. Acceptance enables you to live from a loving place with more peace in your heart and more power to grow and evolve through your life journey. If you have been through a difficult time, suffering or working very hard, trying to obtain results or break through a challenge, this oracle brings you a message to soften your heart and loosen your grip on what you are hoping to achieve. It doesn't mean you need to give up, far from it. Rather, the oracle suggests that if you relax and accept where you are, with all that you have accomplished thus far and even the challenges still ahead, you will move through it with less reactiveness and more conscious awareness and constructive choice. There is an easier way, and acceptance of what is happening now will help you realize that. You deserve this. Relax and allow yourself to receive according to divine grace and compassion. And that is such a gentle, supportive, nurturing, caring ending to the reading on which we started in this whole field of nurturing, caring and support and love. And we end up with this powerful energy of love and the pink radiation of the heart chakra and the support network of love and the high vibrational frequencies it brings in. So it really is there for you, and just asking you to accept that if new things are coming in and you didn't expect them, believe that this is part of your life path and your life force, and it is exactly where you are meant to be at this point in time. So thank you for joining me, and I trust that you've found this really supportive and nurturing. And it may take time, go back and listen to it a couple of times, pick out the part of the messages that seem most relevant, pertinent and important to you, and work with them and see how they show up over the next short while, and embrace them. So thank you again. Namaste.